I'll do the best I can with what I can. We are going to see John Numbers finally bringing out the Wii Fit against Mr. E's Lucina. A very, very scary Lucina. I had to face him first round today, and honestly, I am really, really surprised with everything that I've witnessed. I know that Mr. E is really good, but honestly, man, I never want to have to play this player again. Just his passion for his character and the things that he can do with his character. He does not let you breathe. And you see it right there, not letting John Numbers breathe right now. 76% yet to take any damage whatsoever. And he just seems to be racking it up left and right. These parries have been more than phenomenal for for Mr. E, I should say. Oh my gosh, and a 0 to death. Yes, sir. You have no answer to this first stock, but as I say that, deep breathe, 31% finally going to come into play. But John Numbers just playing, he's just trying to find his openings, and he seems to not be able to do so. Mr. E just keeping full composure, keeping center stage, and I know John Numbers likes to play at the ledge a lot, but in this situation, this scenario, it seems like he has to find a way to seal this stock first, because Mr. E just has an answer to everything being thrown out. Parries left and right, all these projectiles not coming into his favor. And once again, the offstage gameplay, Mr. E once again only 44% dealt in his with 3 stocks to work with, and John Numbers cannot seem to find his openings. Not even deep breathe can save him from what is happening to him right now. 39% already dealt in his final stock, only with a minute and a half of gameplay in the set so far. Oh, and you're going to get punished with a forward smash there, but good stuff. 97% already dealt on Mr. E, but yet to be able to find a way to seal the stock is John Numbers, 92% in his final stock, and that is saying a lot about what is happening so far in this set. No response whatsoever, and it seems the campiness is going to be the gameplay that John Numbers wants to play, but in a situation like this, nevertheless, he will seal the stock, but in a situation like this, it is hard to be campy when you're down a whole stock. There you go. A little bit of patience coming in from John Numbers, so definitely he's finding a way to adapt into this game. And even if he doesn't take this game 1, it is something that he will be able to consider and look back into coming into next game, maybe 2 games if he can take it to game 3. But as I say that, it looks like we are going to have to say goodbye to game 1 and hello to game 2 as Mr. E looking so dominant in this game 1. And the question becomes, how does John Numbers counter this? How does he find the response that he needs? Thinking it out very, very cautiously, you know? Look at that face. Face of a champion, the face of a warrior. Sticking to his roots, sticking to his Wii Fit. And getting ready for game 2. Going back to PS2 is John Numbers. You know, one thing I admire so much about Mr. E's Lucina is how aggressive he gets. He has no fear whatsoever to get as aggressive as he wants, and just that reaction time has been so solid coming in from Mr. E. All these parries, no matter what, the volleyball has not seemed to be anything but useful for John Numbers in this set. Oh my goodness, and good stuff from Mr. E. Oh, but the volleyball is going to be able to skip him off and seal the stock. Not the way you want to go out, but it is the way that it's going to go for him. And John Numbers will take everything he can as he has deep breathe on lock. 82% on his 3 stocks to work with. Trying to rack up as much damage as he can before Mr. E potentially seals this first stock. 32% already dealt. And now the edge guarding game goes in the favor of John Numbers as he once again gets deep breathe on lock. Oh my goodness, 74%. And this has just been a very, it's been one-sided on both ends. Mr. E looking very dominant game 1, but now John Numbers responding back, looking just as dominant. As I say that, 83% with 3 stocks, and now Mr. E is down to his final stock. Whatever it is that John Numbers was thinking about, it is surely working in his favor. Oh my gosh. And that could have been a very, very scary situation for Mr. E, I should say, as John Numbers was trying to find a way to recover back. 107, still with 3 stocks to work with. Mr. E opting again to go off stage, and it does work in his favor. But now the question becomes, how does Mr. E counter back when you have Deep Breathe on lock and the patience has finally... Oh my goodness. The patience is finally working into John Numbers' favor. Off stage, and all it took is one there. Sending him to the depths of hell is John Numbers, taking things to game 3 of this winner's semis. Beautiful stuff from both John Numbers and Mr. E so far, playing their hearts out. Mr. E looks so scary game 1, but then John Numbers just responded back saying, I know you're scary, but I'm scarier. And now we are taking things back to PS2 for game 3 of what is to be a nail biter. And just like I've mentioned before, whoever can take control of this game has every reason to take this game 3. As I say it, a very even game right now. And now John Numbers just spamming out these neutral Bs. And the name of the game is just going to be how both these players can find a way to get in. And Wii Fit just doing so well, using all her projectiles to her advantage. And finally, John Numbers finally seems to be getting all these conversions to his favor. Deep Breathe going to come into effect once again. 88% already on Mr. E's first stock. %. This is such a close battle so far. And when you go for a high risk reward, you get punished for it sometimes. Not going in his favor right now. John Numbers sealing the stock, hitting him with the no you factor right there. 88% already dealt on John Numbers' first stock. But Mr. E, you know, he has to find a way to seal the stock sooner or later. Because right now it seems that John Numbers is trying to find those openings to build up momentum and take this lead even further than he already has it. 35-49, I should say, already dealt. This is such a scary sight for Mr. E. This is not a position that you normally see him in, but when you're going against a player of John Numbers' caliber, you can never expect anything less but the best from his performance. And the up air, not going to convert for the kill, but it is going to put John Numbers in a very bad predicament. As I say, that Deep Breathe has once again come into effect for John Numbers. Good awareness. That is something about John Numbers that I admire. Just knowing when and how to use the Deep Breathe to his advantage, knowing that his opponents will not be able to punish him. As I say that, he does get punished for that normal get up with a back air. And 12% already done on John Numbers' second stock, but 77% of extra credit to work with right now. John Numbers seems to be slowly but surely running away, but Mr. E is not someone that you want to count out. And the determination right now coming in Mr. E's face, if you can see it on the player cam, he is definitely fighting with the will to win right now. With every bit of energy he has to work with. Once again, Deep Breathe will come into effect. Good awareness right there for John Numbers, knowing that he can use it at this very point. But it doesn't matter, as John Numbers cannot find a way to get in Mr. E's face. This is definitely a scary sight for both players, that they are both at kill percent, especially with the Deep Breathe on lock. And all it took was one neutral B, not going to seal the stock there. But the second time it will. 2 for 2, and now the question becomes, how is Mr. E going to respond, as he has John Numbers at 142%. Any percent is good percent for John Numbers at this moment. 29% to work with, and the nair into a back air confirm. Yes sir, we are down to a 1 stock game apiece. good stuff right now from John Numbers, man. Just keeping full composure and playing Wii Fit to her full potential. Yes, she is a campy character. If you don't like it, you're going to have to suck it up because that is the name of the game for Wii Fit. But it seems like Mr. E is finally finding a way to respond and get these openings that he needs. Once again, off stage is John Numbers, not a position he wants to be in. Normal get up and not going to get punished for it. Oh my gosh, and that could have been the stock right there, but no. John Numbers opting to go for the hard read and one F tilt. Yes, sir. John Numbers, we will be saying hello to you in winners finals and hello to Mr. E going down to losers bracket. Unfortunate way to go, but good stuff from both players, playing their hearts out to their full potential. Oh my gosh, man, what a set it was. Mr. E running away with it game 1, and then you see John Numbers coming back, responding back very strongly game 2, and